children should provide room and board for their aging parents.
What does that mean?
So basically, when we get older, your mom.
Oh, hell no. Hell nah. Fuck no. No. I mean, no.
Alright, Eli. So last week we put a poll out there, remember?
Yeah.
The question was, would you rather... Hold on. Before we even go into the question.
Okay.
You didn't subscribe.
You didn't subscribe?
You didn't subscribe at all.
What?
That button is not pressed.
Gotta press the button, man.
That button is not pressed.
Press the button.
Press the button. We'll wait. We got all day.
I ain't waiting. Press the button right now.
No, we're not waiting. Press it. Press it. Thank you. All right. So the question was, would you rather go through an alien invasion alone?
Uh-huh.
Or
I remember that.
go through a zombie apocalypse with your family, but you watch them all die in front of you?
Yes.
We asked the Squabblers on Instagram, and the Squabblers said
77% of the Squabblers voted for alien invasion.
Hey.
you finally won one.
Let's go, Squabblers.
Nice.
Finally on the right side.
So can you walk me through this? Because I still pick zombie apocalypse.
Okay. The reason I chose soloing alien invasion is because I think I actually could do that. I think I could save the humanity from aliens all by myself.
This man is his
With the
own
proper
hero.
strategy, the proper equipment, it can be done.
Let me ask, not to say I don't believe in you, but you as a regular guy sitting right next to me, as far as I know, if you're not, disclose it. But as far as I know, do you have these tools ready on hand in case anything happens, or would you have to go get it? Because going to go get it, cap. But okay, I still say a zombie apocalypse. Yes, everybody, of course, the obvious of you got to see your family die in front of you, but you get more time with them. What's the you watch scary movies before? Mm-hmm. What's one of the biggest reasons why people die in a scary movie?
Because they trip.
Okay, what's another one? Because they worried about what the other their friends are doing and saving them, so they end up go on without me. I'll fend them off while you're over here fighting alien invasion or fighting the aliens. You're worried about. You better be worried about me, but you're worried about me. You're worried about Ian, your other friends. So it's like while you're worried about them, you're not even focused on what really is going on, and then you just hinder yourself. Versus your family's all right around you. You don't have to worry about what you're doing. They're all right here. Unfortunately, they all die in front of you, but like...
See, I don't have that flaw.
Character flaw.
When I concentrate on something, everything else in my mind shuts off. What I had for breakfast this morning, who I saw today, all that disappears from my mind when I lock in and try to accomplish something. Right. So, if I'm trying to accomplish saving humanity... That's the only thing on my mind, killing aliens. That's right.
What do you say? What adds you into this?
I automatically went for alien invasion.
I'm just kidding. I thought you were going to be on my side.
I can't see my family die. Like, I understand that, yes, you get to spend the time with them, but God forbid, the only time you have with them is a day. I can't live through that.
I hate to be this guy. I really do, y'all.
Okay.
What's the difference? I mean, there is zombies are trying to eat your brains, but the difference between that, the only difference between that and right now is the fact that there's zombies. You're gonna watch most of your family die on regular circumstances anyway. You might as well be together with them in this crazy circumstance versus a regular circumstance. That's like I heard somebody say at work. Shout out to the work guys that are watching. They were like, of course, cancer is bad and all this other stuff, and it sucks. Mm-hmm. But the person who said this doesn't understand when people over-exaggerate. Oh my God, they're dying. Were they not already dying before? Yes, it got sped up. Yeah. But like the whole thing of like the over-exaggeration. Oh my God, you're dying. I can't believe it. Oh, it's like, so they were immortal. mortal before. And when he said it like that, as morbid as it sounds, I hate to be the bad guy of this video because I'm just, but like as morbid as it sounds, it's like it makes you open your eyes like, damn, like we like you said, you'd hate, God forbid, you have one more day with them. You might have one more day with me. We don't know until we wake up tomorrow. It sucks, but it's like you might as well be with them in a crazy circumstance than not be with them at all in another crazy circumstance.
Okay, so let's say 2 days into a zombie apocalypse, your family dies. That would be such a short amount of time with them compared to if you soloed the whole.
Well, that's 2 days you didn't get if you soloed.
They're still alive though. They're still.
You don't know that because you're not with them. You don't know what's going on with them.
So they die.
They could have died. You don't know. You have the tools and the strategy. I'm not survivalistic like that. I could have died the first 30 minutes.
Then that's on you.
All right, Squabble. That's crazy.
Agree or disagree? Good-looking people have it easier in life.
Yes, agree. I agree. Yes,
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Is that done on purpose?
I don't think so.
I wasn't ready for. Is it done on purpose?
I mean, I agree that it's easier, but I don't think people do it on purpose. People just tend to want to help out or do stuff in favor for good-looking people, and the not good-looking people just tend to like have it a little harder.
Yeah, it really just depends on what you're referring to. I mean, some situations it is easier if you're good-looking, like if you're an actor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Actress.
True.
A child's personality is nature versus nurture.
I don't even know what that means.
I agree. Nature versus nurture is basically like how the parents raised them, is what environment they grew up in is what makes that kid a kid. Was what makes them the way they are.
I get it. Yeah.
I don't agree.
I agree. You can only parent your kids so much before they're influenced by the outside world. And the more you try to influence them, the harder they're going to look for the outside world.
I think and the way you're saying it, I agree. But the way I'm thinking about it is to say, like, you could have a kid and be raised in a bad neighborhood, but they could still want to be book smart and all that. It's like the neighborhood they grew up in probably isn't the best, but they still want to go to school.
But it's very much more likely that they grow up to be like those bad kids because it's in their neighborhood. And those are going to be the people he makes friends with more than likely.
And then I agree.
Nice. That's all I need.
Wait. No.
You already said.
No.
You already said.
I had a rebuttal.
Okay.
Because you got Brittany's family.
Okay.
Who are happy-go-lucky and all that, and Brittany grew to be happy-go-lucky and all that, and they want to dance and sing. And then you got my family who's been quiet and doesn't really do anything, and me and my siblings are quiet to an extent. But it could have been, are we quiet because she just told me yesterday she watched that video. Sorry, Mom. Are we quiet because we don't want to hear my mom's mouth? or are we really just quiet? You know what I mean? Then it becomes a question of like, are you doing it because you don't want to get in trouble or anything? Are you just doing it because this is how you really are?
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But you get the point. I did say I agree. I just want to throw that in there.
Better.
So I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
At what age do you think you found your personality?
Ooh, that's it's
very.
I can't say an exact age, but I'll say like middle school, like 8th grade, 9th grade. That's when I started like, okay. Oh wait. No. 11th grade, 12th grade. Because after that, I'm like the first 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. I'm like trying to figure out my style, what I like, what I don't like. Not in terms of like sports and tangible things, but like how I want to dress and what kind of person I want to be. 11th grade, you pretty much are. That's when you like starting to say, do I want to go to college? Is it for me? Which college I want to go to? It kind of like setting.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's very like case by case. You know, some people realize who they are later in life, like after school. Some people know like who they are from like very don't know. Just situational, very.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Is there a follow-up to this or no? I want to change the way the question's asked. When do you feel like, not when did you realize, but when do you feel like you started to become your own person? Because you could realize, like you said, you could realize it 22, depending on the person, 22, 19, 18. But when did you feel like you started like, okay, coming up with your own identity instead of just following whatever your friends did or whatever?
It was definitely like late into high school, because up until that point, pretty much for most cases, your parents still have a lot of control on what you do, where you go, who you talk to, all that jazz. But like later on, I'll probably say late high school, they ease up a little. They realize you're your own person, gotta make your own choices.
He was about to say type shit.
Was I?
It looked like you were, and then you switched it. You said all that jazz, but yeah, I agree. I agree with what you, so you get another point. I agree with what you said about people don't realize that everybody's different. But if you were to change the question, then my question about high school is affected, because like by then it's like, okay, you tried to go skateboard because all your friends were skateboarding and you realize it's just not for me. Just because my friends want to do it doesn't mean I gotta do it.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
So. I remember I wanted to skateboard too, and I was like,
it looks cool. I'm not gonna do it. But
is it harder to date across cultures?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
There's like a whole lot of like walls you gotta break down. Whole lot of stuff you have to figure out about their culture that influences the person that you're interested in. You gotta make sure those culture aspects don't conflict with your personal aspects of life and all that.
Especially if you have two heavily cultured families. It's like for people that are trying to plan a wedding or whatever, if one culture does it one way, another culture does it this way, you guys gotta some people can do it because if it's for love, then you do what you gotta do. But some cultures are so strong. Like me personally, my family's from Ghana, but I'm born and raised in Georgia. Right. So it's like I don't feel as deep. I don't feel the need to do all the Ghana rituals and all that. But out of respect for my family, I'll do what I can. But if I was like my other cousins and they were really deep into it, they probably would push it a little bit harder. Like, yeah, we need to do these rituals during the wedding. But me, I'm like, if we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm born and raised in Georgia, so and I don't even barely speak the language.
Facts.
But it's like for people that for example, a Chinese person and an African person get married. It's like I'm sure Chinese people have their own marriage rituals. The Africans definitely have their own marriage rituals. So the families got to figure out. Sometimes they don't even figure out to do two separate weddings.
Oh yeah.
Just to make sure everybody gets what they want, but that's expensive. So like for people that don't have that option, it's like you gotta figure out where you want to meet. But so I agree. We both agree that it is harder. Not even just marriage though. Let's not even for the most of us that not even think about marriage. Just talk about dating. Like some people are just getting to know somebody. Some cultures you don't bring the person home until you're ready to marry them. Some cultures like, oh yeah, come meet my brother and my sister. So imagine if you were dating somebody and her culture was like, you don't bring them home till they marry. You just bring them home. You're bringing her home to meet the boys. Mm-hmm. And in her mind, she's like, oh, that must mean he wants to marry me now. Because she's so used to this. But you're just like, no, you just meeting my people. So it's like, but that's where communication comes in. And y'all got to talk about, hey, you just meeting the boy. I'm not proposing tomorrow. But it could work. Everything can work if you really want it. But is it harder? For sure.
I agree.
When people succeed, it's because of hard work. Luck has nothing to do with success.
That is not true.
Go ahead.
Nah, I feel like your success is a product of your environment. Yes. If you grow up with the keys to life, kind of things handed to you, explained to you easily, doors open for you. And, it's very easy to take advantage of that as compared to somebody who doesn't have those, assets or, maybe that financial status of said other people.
I agree. But I agree for a different reason though. One thing that my previous employed company taught me is that it's not about what you do, it's about who you know. So, but that could also, devil's advocate. I always play devil's advocate. It can also be tied to the work you do though. If I work hard, you may not be able to promote me right now, but you go get another job, and you get promoted over there. Like, hey, I have somebody that can replace me, because you remember me from my previous job. You know what I mean? So you come scoop me up, like, hey, Dahama, I just got this manager job. I need an assistant manager. I remember you busted your ass 2 years ago. Are you interested? You know, so like the hard work could still be a big foundation. Luck, I don't think luck. I mean, yes, people are lucky, but I don't think luck has anything to do with it. I think it may not. Hard work in my book, it may not show, it may not reflect right then and there, but people always remember the hard workers. They may not be able to help you right now, but they might think of you 6 months down the road when they have a better position for you, and they're going to look at the person who worked hard versus the person who did the average. You know what I mean? They're always going to think about the person who worked hard.
But what about that same person, but like that same concept by another person involved? Let's say they knew somebody in the company, or one of them was a relative. They're going to move up super fast compared to even the guy that's busting his ass every single day, you know?
That's true too. Yeah.
And that man's going to more than likely get passed up because of it's about who you know, just like you were saying earlier.
Damn. That's a good one.
Children should provide room and board for their aging parents.
What does that mean?
So basically, when we get older, your mom.
Oh, hell no. Hell nah. Fuck no. No. I mean, no.
I agree. But wait. Let me. Well, I have 2 siblings, so she's living with one of them. We've already talked about me and my family. We've already talked about this. My mom is living with, if anything, Ruby, because she's the only girl. It's
right.
It's literally her birthright. But, and this is where, to back up 2 questions, culture meets culture's clash. Because even though I said a couple minutes ago I was born in Georgia, I've always been told my mom came to America, busted her ass,
right.
Gave me the opportunity to
right.
be born in America. So it's like, I've been wired. It's only when I was the only child, it's only my right that when she gets old and can't work anymore, I take care of her because she came down here for me. But now that we have siblings, it's still gonna get done, but it's not gonna be me. But that's just where like my culture is like, hey, they took care of you, they gave you the clothes on your back, put you through school, whatever
right.
parents do. So when they're old and crusty and dusty, you take care of them.
Okay.
But room and board, I think that's the part you're having a problem with.
No, I got it all.
Go ahead.
My answer is still no. And let me tell you why. You were talking about how, like your parents came to America, busted their ass off, worked for everything they had. But how long ago was that?
20 plus.
Yeah, 20 plus years. The economy is very much different, my friend.
Okay.
Very much different. And shit's a lot more expensive. Everything's more expensive. Gas, eggs, grapes, everything.
You hungry? Gas, eggs, grapes. You were very specific.
So my whole thing is, why should I be obligated, besides, family reasons and all that jazz, but why should I be obligated to, pay for your living situations and all that when A, you should have been planning for that early on in your life. You should have been planning your retirement fund, your 401k, all that. All that should have been.
Dang, that's how you know we're old. We're talking about 401ks.
But, I mean, all that should have been planned early on in your life. So, to what reason would you need your kids to help you out in life? If you did everything you were supposed to do in life, you should be set. Kids or not.
I was waiting for you to say that. You could check off every single box and still get fucked over by life.
Okay.
Life could just happen. You could lose your home.
That's cool, but that's for a month or two, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people don't bounce back. There's not to. Well, yeah, actually, to change your mind, yes, because I need a point. But Like, there's people in the military, they fought for our country and all that, and they're still the same. When they come home, they check all their boxes. They fought for our country, defended us and all that, came home, and they're homeless. They have the signs up on the side of the highway. They did everything right, and they still came. Like, sometimes life just happens.
Right.
You can have a 401k. You could do this. You could do that, and then, well, I don't know the ins and outs how you lose it, but like something can happen where you're just like, I'm in a shitty situation. So, as if that were to happen to, God, I'm just joking. If that were to happen and to my mom, I'd be like, see, I think I'd be like, yeah, come on. Well, Ruby would be like, yeah, come on, come live with me, and she wouldn't be like, yeah, you got 2 months, because that's our mom. She'd probably think it, but she'd be like, until you feel like you need to leave, then you do what you got to do. But nobody's sitting here based on what you just said. You were like, that's only 2 months. It could be 2 months, but she's not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, you got 2 months, my guy. To our mom, if it was like a friend to a friend, maybe a cousin, even maybe, but your parent, that's different.
Mean, like, obviously, like, you wouldn't put it so, like, bluntly, but like, I mean, at the same time, like, we have to be faced with real life. I mean, sure, maybe if I was in the position to where, I just don't know, because I just feel like the world is so different from, like, what our parents raised us in. Like, all of these expensive factors are just going to pile up, especially, like, if you have an extra person staying with you that's not contributing to what, like, bills, all that, utilities and all that stuff. So, I don't know. Just doesn't seem, I get it. I may sound like kind of selfish saying it's not really fair. But at the end of the day, if you, like, let's say you don't have the craziest, most, flashy job, you're just going to be struggling. And
I have a rebuttal. And I already know Proctor and Eli are going to say, that's what you're supposed to do. So spare me. Okay?
No, go ahead.
But you're saying expenses, this. Yes, it's a different world. Different expenses, inflation, money's gone up. But your parents did that for you for 20 years. That's what they're supposed to do.
That's their choice.
That's what they're supposed to do. But the least she could do, I'm not going to say like it's a 1 for 1 year for 1 year, eye for an eye, but when it's their turn and they did it for you out of love because they wanted to. So now flip it.
Because they had to.
They didn't have to.
They had to.
They could, now 30 years in advance, you're 31 in the future, and God forbid something happens to your parent, and they need you. Okay. It's like, it's not a want. It's not I just don't feel like working, so Eli, let me come bunk with she needs you.
Okay. But the objective of the question was like room and board, which sounded more like a permanent thing.
Yeah, they've retired, like they're done. They're coming to live with you until they leave. Or, well, our situation a little different because we have parents that weren't born here. So my mom wants to go back to Ghana when she's old and crusty, so she could live her last years out in the same home, in the same land that she was born in. So foreign parents, I don't know, my mom's just special like that, but foreign parents might want to go back home, but then you also have to worry about where's she gonna go? Like, you have to build her a house, or get her a house. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, if she's not working, how does she have the money to go back to her homeland?
Where did all her money go?
I don't hey,
boom, well, let's just it's all gone.
I just say, hey man, I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't happen, but I'm sure this is, because I've seen it. Like, I'm not gonna say like I'm the 100% saint where I always give them money, but like I've seen the war vets on the side of the road. Like, damn, like you fought for our country and life just hit you, and you came home. You don't even have a house, but you fought for us to have a house. You know what I mean? So it's like, it sucks. So I always think about that. Like, damn, you could check off all the right boxes, fight for the country, defend your honor, you know what I mean? Come back, and nobody looked out for you. It's like, damn, you don't have no family, nothing happened. Nobody let you live with them.
If an 18-year-old, not even 18, if a 16-year-old kid can get a job flipping burgers, why can't a U.S. veteran?
But why should they? Can't. But why should they? They just a 16-year-old did not just fight for our country and saw God knows what out over there and had to kill somebody so they don't get killed.
So
a 16-year-old woke up and said, "Okay, let's go to Burger King," and drove their mom's car to Burger King to flip some burgers. They didn't have to hold a gun and put their life on the line.
Okay. I was just saying, like, if it comes down to that, a veteran is choosing to be homeless at that point or choosing to not have a job. He could get a bare minimum job and possibly get by. Okay. He could probably even get like a bigger like pay than a 16-year-old probably could. I would believe it. And so, like, I don't want to say it's completely their fault if they're homeless, but you have the same means to get a job as a 16-year-old. If you can't figure out like how to do that, then it's on your fault for whatever happens.
Dang. This will be the last rebuttal, and then if you want, we can move on. I agree to an extent, but it's still different. When a 16-year-old leaves that job, they're going back to mom and dad's house.
Okay.
So they're saving up that money. Maybe they're putting in gas, stop by Krispy Kreme, get a dozen donuts. Damn, I'm hungry. But but the veteran, when he leaves Burger King, that money's going right back into his next meal. He still doesn't have a house, so it's like he's not really saving it. I'm sure he could save it if he really, really wants to, but like you saving when you already live with your parents, don't have any bills, is different than a veteran trying to save when he's literally started from zero. The 16-year-old's not starting from zero. The veteran is.
They do pay you in the army.
They do, but then if they do, I mean, I know they do, but then you've seen them. You started driving before me. I know you've seen the war vets out there. It's like veteran, need a home, need a place to stay, and it's just like, dude, like what? Like I think the same thing.
I've not seen not one homeless veteran.
Proctor, have you seen that before?
I have.
And it's like I think the same thing. Like, dang, what happened to the money? You would think they pay you, right? Like we all civilians, we think they pay you, but something happened. Life slapped them. They didn't get it. I don't know. Somebody forgot to deposit the check. They could have, yeah. I'm sure there's at least 50% of them that wasted their money away, but
welcome to the consequences of your own actions.
Well, for the ones that didn't, we're not talking about we're not talking about the crazy ones that spent it all and thought it was gonna be lasting forever. We're talking about the ones that literally did everything right and then life just didn't give them.
Okay, and you start from scratch and build up again.
Let us know what y'all think.
What are you gonna do? Stay homeless?
No, I'm just saying it's not as easy as. I mean, I know you didn't say it was easy, but it's just jarring. I don't know.
So, Squabblers, we really appreciate the support.
Actually, guys, I really wanted to.
You know what, man? That is actually one of my pet peeves. Since we're gonna be on the topic of it, anyways.
Oh, let's get into it then.
When people cut me off, that's gotta be one of my worst pet peeves, man. When I'm in the middle of talking and some asshole just comes up and just cuts me off.
I'm an asshole all video. All right.
Yeah. Well, what kind of pet peeves you got though? Since we here, anyways.
Mine is like, let's say I ask you the time, and it's 7:58. I ask you the time. You tell me it's 8 o'clock. It's not 8 o'clock.
It's damn near 8 o'clock.
It's not 8 o'clock though. If it was 8 o'clock, it would say 8 o'clock. It's 7:58.
Oh, you want those?
The rounding thing
must be real fun at work.
The rounding thing is like, if it was 8 o'clock, I can understand if it was 8:01 and you said it's 8. Yeah. Because then it's 8 and 8. But if it's still 7 something, don't tell me it's 8. It's still 7. Okay. Put some respect on the 7.
I mean, it's damn near 8.
But it's not though. It almost is, but it's not.
I mean, it's only 2 minutes.
That's just like saying, dang. That's just like saying, I almost made it pro. But you didn't.
I mean,
it's cool. It sounds cool. Like, yeah, you almost made it, but you didn't. It's either you do or you don't.
Okay. I see. I mean, it don't gotta be that.
I know, but
technical. 7:58. I mean, it's 8 o'clock.
It's 7:58. No, it's 7:58.
It's I'm always so like set on that is because guilty. I be leaving work a little early sometimes, 7:30, maybe 30 minutes early,
Damn, we were talking like 2 minutes. I leave at 4:55. That's 5 minutes early. You leave 30 minutes.
Sometimes the whole hour, at least. But like, you know, I work the majority of my shift at that point. It's probably slow.
You know? Oh hell nah, the whole.
But
hour.
like, you know, like if I'm scheduled till 5, and I leave at 4:30, 4:35, tomato, you know.
What do you think?
Oh, Mr. Manager over there. 4 o'clock is 4 o'clock.
What do you think? I mean, what's your pet peeve?
I'm fine with just rounding to 8.
No, I meant what's your pet peeve?
Oh. Someone telling me to do something I'm already in the midst of doing.
Ooh.
Hate that.
Yeah,
it makes me not even want to do it anymore.
I see that.
Yo, low key. Actually, I have to agree with that. Because I remember when I was a kid, like I'll be doing my homework or whatever, and my mom will come into my room. Are you doing your homework?
What else is that?
Yeah,
Did you see me on the TV, on the game or something?
Like, what's it look like? You see the paper, don't you? You see the pencil. You see the book bag right there.
Shit. All right. What's another one you got for us?
People that think they know everything. They're pretty. They grind my gears a little bit, you know. I mean, like, yeah, you might be smart, you might be educated, but you don't know everything. You don't even know everything about the things that you think you know everything about. There's always something you don't know.
That's true. And then people say that the loudest person in the room is usually not the smartest.
Really?
Yeah, they usually say the quietest person, not the quietest, like the one that's not talking, but like watch out for the ones that don't really talk that much.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are in front of everybody, they're not the smart. They just want to be seen and heard for whatever reason. So I like that. That's a good one. Mine used to be more of a problem when we were younger. Now, since I don't hang around teenagers or kids anymore, it's not that big of a problem. Smacking, like when you're eating.
Oh yeah,
I used to hate that.
That's annoying.
It would literally make me want to not eat my meal anymore. Like I would save it, but it would kill my whole appetite. Like hearing you eat. Now I'm not talking about eating like obviously swallowing all that's natural, but like no. In between, I'm like, bro, dude, chill out. But like I said, now that we're older and I hang around adults, it's not a problem. But you know, you run into somebody every now and then that does that. Like, what you got?
Being late.
Ooh, you would hate.
Yeah. It's like you don't even respect my time. Like, of course, we live in Atlanta, so you know it's gonna be traffic. So grow up, leave a little bit earlier.
Leave a little bit. Okay, I got something for that. So, like, as far as leaving early, some people don't live the same lifestyle you live. You know, some people work late. Some people stay up. I got the hiccup. Sorry. Some people work late. Some people stay up late. Some people just, you know, they're a night person. Sometimes waking up early means you get 30 minutes of sleep, you know. There's a lot of times where I'll be on the game and I have work at 8, but I don't get off until 6 a.m., you know. It is what it is. Am I going to be late? Most likely, probably. But, you know.
But that goes back to respecting time. Like, you know you have an obligation and you're choosing to not respect that.
Am I choosing to not respect that, or am I choosing to live my life the way I want?
Or are you choosing not to respect the fact that he just got off work? That's what your scenario was, right? Like sometimes you might get off
work and then played until 6 in the morning.
Damn! What? I don't know why. I did not hear that at all. I had your back. Until what?
So, in my eyes, video gaming, just like a lot of other things in the world, is a craft. The more you work on that craft, the better you are. And maybe you have a certain goal that you want to be, like, maybe you want to be this good, you know, maybe you want to be that good.
Okay.
I got to put the time in.
True.
Sleep is optional sometimes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So let's say that you were that friend that was always 30 minutes, an hour late to everything. And your friends started to pick up on this. So to every event, they tell you an hour prior to the actual start time. Don't start that.
You know what? I actually used to do that with one of my friends all the time. Like we would meet up as a group of friends, but this one individual, I'm not gonna say names, but this one individual would always, every single time, show up like 40 minutes late, an hour late sometimes. At that point, I'm just like, because I'm waiting for you, right? And you're just still taking your sweet ass time. I'll probably call you and you haven't even left the house yet. So
Ooh, I have a follow.
that's why I actually ended up doing is I just told people an hour earlier than what I was going to need them to be there by.
I have a follow-up question for you for that scenario.
Okay.
If you had a friend that you knew was always late, you could do that, or you could just be like, "Hey, man," as a group, be like, "Hey, we know he or she's gonna be late. They're just gonna have to miss out." That's on them as an adult to be like, "Yeah, let me be on time, so I'm not missing my." So you guys being upset and because you're waiting, you're being good friends, but can you really be? You could be upset at that person, but you're the one choosing to wait. You could have went on and did the activity, and then when they come in, they jump in when they jump in. But
that's true. But at that point, you're just being petty, right? Let's say you all were meeting up to go to a movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And y'all go to the movie without that one person or whatever. That's kind of.
No, I'm not saying go without them, but in your scenario of the movie doesn't play or stop for nobody.
Right.
So you guys are just gonna miss the whole movie because this person's being late.
I'm not gonna miss the whole movie. Not me.
Exactly. Because you paid the ticket, you want to play. That's just, or like, let's say
not late, they need to take accountability.
Let's say we go to Andretti's,
okay,
and we're like, hey, go karts. We're gonna try to start go karting at 5, and we know Britt won't arrive till like 5:45. We're gonna show up at 5. We're gonna sit for 45 minutes and wait on Britt. No, we're gonna race a little bit, and when she comes at 5:45, if we still feel like racing, she's gonna jump in. I'm not gonna stop my fun because you just can't be on time.
Or you tell her it starts at 4. And
yeah, you could do that too.
You don't gotta worry about that.
But it could go both ways. My next pet peeve is farting with no apologies. And I don't mean like. Well, let me pause that real quick. What I mean by that is because I've had people that actually kind of get angry. Like they'll fart in public and then somebody will say something. It's a natural thing. Back off. Let's go ahead and stop there. I got a hot take just before I go into that a little deeper. Hot take is just because something is natural or something is okayed by society does not. I mean, just because something is natural and not necessarily frowned upon society does not mean it's okay. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, the farting thing I just said. If everybody in this world had the choice to never fart again, I'm pretty sure we would all choose to never fart again, right?
Right.
So just because it's natural doesn't mean it's okay. Because if it was okay, we would all choose to keep doing it.
That is true.
So it's like, I can understand, obviously, your body's going to do what it's got to do. Sometimes you can only hold it so much. You got to let it out. You can't control if it's going to be loud, noisy, whatever. But when you do it and then just just keep going on, like, dude, at least say excuse me. Like, at least acknowledge it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially, like, when let's say we were to go to Six Flags and a group of us are in line, you just fart, and then we're like, what the hell? And you're like, hey, yo, chill out. It's natural. Okay, yeah, we understand that. But at least own it and be like, my bad, guys.
Yeah.
I had a burrito this morning. Or my bad. You know, don't look at us like we're crazy for calling you out on it. That's the part I don't like.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, it's about having proper manners. Like, yeah, it's a natural body thing going on. But, like, at the same time, you can say, like, just like you were saying, you could say, excuse me, my bad, or I'm sorry. You don't have to just be that guy that has to, just be nasty type shit.
Yeah. What you got?
I hate when I lose or forget something.
Lose or forget.
Ooh.
So that's a pet peeve. You do that. I mean, I was about to say, because you're the one. So, like, give me an example.
Like, if I'm going to the room for something and then when I get there, it's like, why am I here?
Yeah. Ooh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. I wouldn't call it a pet peeve because it doesn't, like, bother me that much, but it is kind of annoying, like, just forgetting all of a sudden what you were doing.
Hell yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
You got another one?
Yeah. I hate when, like, I'm telling a story. Like, let's say I was telling you a story, and then you just start, like, zoning out. Maybe you pull out your phone. Like, I think you don't give a fuck about the story anymore, so I'm going to stop talking.
The body language would tell you, oh, okay, you got me fucked up. I feel it.
Yeah, like, at that point,
that's respect, too, though. If they're literally like this while you're talking, they don't care about what your story is.
Maybe it's not a respect thing. Maybe in their eyes, they're still listening, but they're not, like, giving you their attention, you know?
Okay. But I still think it's a respect thing because yes, in their eyes it's like this, but maybe okay, the first 2 times we'll let it slide. Once you become friends with the person, realize okay, this person does not like when I don't give them undivided. At least say okay, hold on, pause real quick. Let me answer this text about my brother, whatever. You know what I mean? But this looks like I don't care.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. So after a while, it's like okay, I know because we've been friends. When Eli's talking, if he sees this, he's gonna pick up that I don't give a fuck about what he's talking about. He's gonna shut down. The mood has changed. Blah blah blah. Right. But the first 2 times, I'll probably be like, it'll take me a while to catch on to, unless you say it. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I kind of agree. It's a little bit of respect, but it's not like they're trying to be blatantly disrespectful.
Okay. What if I'm telling you like a whole story? We're at the park, and then after like 5-6 minutes of me talking, you're just like, huh? You know?
Oh, hell no.
I'm gonna be like, all right, forget it.
I'd rather you do the phone, because at least the phone, I saw that when you zoned out. Yeah. You're just looking at me nodding and, huh? Oh, hell no. That would be crazy. Hell no.
I know, I'd be doing that too. I'd just be zoning out. Interesting.
So my last one is when, I don't know, it's going to sound weird. It's going to sound I'm watching something, and like, let's say I'm in the middle of an episode, and you join in, you see something interesting, and you tell me like, oh, well, I want to watch it. Go ahead and start the whole thing over. What? No, you could jump in where you came from, or you can go watch it on your own time. But don't expect, if I suggest it, like I'm like, oh yeah, you want to watch this, and I say, let me start the episode over for you, so you get it from the beginning. I get it, but don't demand for me to be like, yeah, start that over so I can know. Like, what the hell is that? Like,
I mean, it can't bother you that much.
It does. who are? Because it's almost like, not fucking me, but like, yeah. So I'm here now. So it's almost like what we're talking about. Okay. Yeah. So main character's here now. Start over so I can catch up. No, how about you ask? You can ask. It's really the demanding part. It's not the act of doing this. Like when you demand, like, yeah, go ahead and start that over, because I'm here now. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can ask or let me offer, like, hey, you like this show? Like, let me start it over for you so we can catch up, or you can catch up to where I'm at, or let me pause it and catch you up on Cliff Notes. But you be like, yeah. Go ahead and start that show.
Nah, see, I hear what you're saying, but like to me, it's kind of different because. Let's say you're watching some new show, right? And like I'm chilling with you. Maybe I was doing some other shit in the yard or something. And I come back and I see you're watching the show. I'm like, okay, I can chill. I'm just gonna chill, watch the show. I guess you're gonna start episode 1.
That's the energy I'm talking about. You're gonna.
I'm not starting on episode 3 or whatever. You're gonna wind it back from episode 1.
Yeah, let me suggest that though. All right,
because then I'm not gonna watch the show. I'm not watching a show from episode 3.
But hey. So, do you have a last one, or do you have another one?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually piggyback off of you in the aspect of watching something. I hate if I'm watching something and the person I'm watching it with is asking me questions like I've already watched it. We're watching it together.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I'm also gonna piggyback off of that too. I also hate people ask questions and like, let's say it's something you watched and they're already asking questions. Oh, who's this person? No, I'm like, if you watch the first episode, it's gonna tell you like everything you have a question about.
When you put me on the Bleach.
Oh yeah,
I did that.
Yeah,
but I wasn't asking questions like who is it? I was saying like, where is this person? But it's the same thing. Like, where is this person? You're like, damn, you were for 1 episode in.
Yeah,
let the person come in. Like,
let the show explain itself like it always does.
Not always.
It pretty much always does.
Okay. That was some good ones, guy.
Would you rather be able to see the future but can't disclose anything that you see, or read minds but have to disclose what you know to the person right away?
Oh, that's easy. Future, easily.
Read minds.
You don't want to read people's minds.
Actually, I would save that one for later, but. What's the point of seeing the future if you can't do anything about it?
No one said you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you can't just. Oh, well, she didn't.
She said you can't.
You can't disclose. You can't benefit from it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can definitely benefit from the future. Let's say like You know who's gonna win the next Super Bowl. I'm gonna put $10 million on that bet.
Damn.
If I had that
But
much.
That's a whole rabbit hole.
I don't even have to have that much.
I'm just saying, like, there's a whole, the butterfly effect. Like, if you change one little thing, the people.
I'm not changing nothing.
No, I'm just saying, if you do one little thing off course, the team that it's a whole butterfly effect of. Just because you saw it doesn't mean it's steadfast. Like, it can still change.
Why would it change?
Because you could go over here as you're driving and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to Burger King, and then you see the future.
Right.
And then last second, like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's instead. The future has now changed. The rest of the whole timeline is different. All because you changed one restaurant.
Oh, I would be able to see the future of that too. I would see the future of me changing.
So you can but I still picked the read minds because there's a quote. There's a quote for you guys. I'm gonna try to do a quote a month. The quote is, "You will change how you act and how you are around people when you realize how little they actually think about you." Because everybody's the main character in their own story. Mm-hmm. You go out there, you think, oh, these people are going to judge me, they're going to do that. Some people actually just don't really, not to sound rude, but they really just don't give a fuck. Like, they'll go out there, they'll see it, they'll be like, okay, dumbass. But they're not over here thinking about it weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, you're main character in your story, but you're really like the NPC, minimum NPC character in their story. So it's like, but everybody in life thinks like, oh, I don't want to be judged. I don't want to do this, so they stop. They don't always open up and do whatever they really want to do. But if you realize that some people really just don't think about you that much, if you like, that's why I read them. I was like, you would say like you don't want to know what people think about you, but most of the time they probably aren't even thinking about me.
I don't. Did I say think about you? No, I meant to say you don't want to know what people are thinking.
Oh, I think you did say that. My bad.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Some people just have really fucking weird, fucked up, crazy ass shit that's been going on in their head. I know, like, it's happened to like everybody at some point,
here we go. We're going back to I know you jumped off the building. We're going back to the first podcast.
Everybody's mind wanders, maybe for the better or worse, you know. I don't know. I'm not trying to hear all that. And how do I turn it off? Can I turn it off?
Yeah, you can turn. This is how you can control. When you see the future, you can control. But whatever you hear, you have to tell them like, hey, don't do it, bro. I know you're thinking about slapping everybody in this building. Don't do it. Like, and you have to literally tell them like what you just heard or what you just read.
I don't need all that.
Versus if you, so you could be able to live. I know you said the lottery. You thought very positive. I'm gonna twist it a little bit. Maybe change your mind. You'll be able to see one of us in this room how we die, and it's not natural causes, and you can't tell us. You can live with that because you can't disclose. So you can't. What? Mm-hmm. All right, get out. You'll be able to live with that. Be like, damn, the homeless about to get mugged at Walmart. You can't even be like, damn, I don't think you should go to Walmart. You have to let it play out. Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, read the minds.
I mean, I can't like write on a piece of
Nope, you can't disclose. That's the
Oh,
you can't disclose.
That's a big word. Yeah.
I went deep with it, but it's like that's also you thought positive lottery, Super Bowl wins and all that, but there's also the other side. You can see people get hurt and you can't do anything about it. You'd have to live with it.
Gotcha. You said I couldn't disclose anything. Mm-hmm. You didn't say I couldn't prevent it on my own actions, silently. So maybe if I do see you getting mugged in Walmart, maybe I go to Walmart 30 minutes earlier and I knock the motherfucker out.
You could try.
Boom. Didn't disclose, but I prevented a tragedy.
Got you. You ready? The one thing, remember those games on PlayStation where it was like those Telltale games where like you could press triangle for this, circle for this. If there's one thing those games taught me, like when it comes to somebody dying or whatever, if the universe wants them to die, they're going to die. So you can go to the thing and knock him out, and I might be able to live that day. But if the universe wants me to go, they're just gonna find another way for me to go. So how many? You're gonna be my bodyguard at that point.
What can I do?
That's what I'm saying. You can't do anything about it. So what's the point of seeing if you can't do anything about it? You could fix that one, and then you probably buy me 5 more days. And then another crazy ass incident happens, and you can't stop every single thing. You also have your own life to live. You can't stop every single time.
It is what it is.
Come on, read minds, man.
Read me
now. Well, Squabble, just let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know what y'all think.
We'll see. Alright guys, that's all we have for you guys this week. Make sure you guys comment down below on anything that you guys agree with or disagree with. And if you guys have any pet peeves and icks that we did not discuss, make sure you guys put that as well.
And as always, keep your minds open and your volumes tuned up.
Deuces.
Deuces.